Brushing your horse is quick and easy, along with being an easy way to relieve stress. Brushing your horse is just as important as knowing how to do the medical care, the feeding tasks, and along with any training method that you use. I personally have 4 horses, of which all are different sizes and shapes, so it is difficult for me to have to keep up with the different grooming methods for horses. So therefore, these are my basic tools that I use per each horse. So for today's demonstration, I chose to use a stuffed horse rather than one of my large horses for the sake of time. So for your first tool that you would use to brush your horse, it is called a curry comb. Our curry comb comes in many shapes and sizes. This one is just a simple metal O-ring with multiple layers and wide teeth on it. So for the curry comb, you brush the body and you avoid the feet and you avoid the face for the purposes that these are sensitive areas, and if done improperly, you can hurt the horse. So the purpose of the curry comb is to get off any excess debris such as larger clumps of mud that have dried from your horse rolling, or pitch if you live in woodsy areas, and this is the metal part of it can dig into the fur and pull it out rather than having to shave the area if you have pitch on your horse. So then as you move on with your horse's grooming, once the body is overly done with the curry comb, you use what is called a body brush. A body brush has coarser bristles on it with the purpose of getting off the rest of the debris that the curry comb missed because of the wide teeth on it. You would brush the whole body, including the legs now, because these are softer, so it will not hurt any tendons on your horse's legs, and up alongside the neck. Once you are done with the main body brush, you use what is called a face brush. A face brush is gentle. As you can see, the bristles are extremely soft and perfectly safe to use over your horse's eyes and nostrils and will not cause any damage to your animal. But along with brushing just the face, I like to go over the body and the legs as well, to make sure that the extra fine hairs that would cause discomfort underneath the saddle are gone, underneath the saddle pad. So then, when you are done with the main body and the main overall hair, you use what is called a mane and tail brush. This is the mane on a horse and this is the tail on a horse. You use this, which looks like a regular human hairbrush, but it's a little bit different. You would use this to brush out the mane and the tail for purposes of not having tangles in it, so that way your horse is more comfortable from flicking its mane at flies and so on and so forth. But to ensure the fact that the horse is comfortable when you are trying to get the tangles out, you use what is called a detangler. It's kind of like leave-in conditioner for people, but it sprays in and it works effectively and immediately. I personally like to use this brand, or what is called Cowboy Magic. And Susan White, a distinguished large animal medicine professor at the University of Georgia's College of Veterinary Medicine, says that horses shed seasonally as a result of the changes of daylight. So therefore, when fall time and springtime come around, it is crucial to use detanglers so that way you are not pulling out any excess hair out of your horse that doesn't need to be. It helps with preventing you pulling out extra hair that needs to be pulled out, so that way your horse is more comfortable and the hair grows back in easily for shedding, and so on and so forth. So then, once your horse's hair on the body is done, you would move on to the hooves. To clean the horse's hooves, you use what is called a hoof pick. Hoof picks come in a different variety of sizes and shapes, but the purpose of the hoof pick is to be able to pick out any rocks or mud through the bottom of the feet, being careful of what is called a frog, which is the soft part of the horse's hoof, which has nerve endings, so you need to be careful of that, which it is very distinct and pops out. So you would pick the V around the frog, and then with the bristles, as I'm pointing to, you would just brush off the extra debris. And for the safety of the rider and the horse, you always turn to the side of your animal so that way you're not in the line of fire if your horse would kick back at a fly, or if it's a young horse kick back at you because it doesn't like what you're doing. And when you're brushing the horse's tail, you always pull the horse's tail towards you so that way you're not in the line of fire and your horse's tail is not even directly behind them. It's to the side as well with you, so that way the horse and the rider are safe. So besides grooming your horse, it also makes a great stress reliever for the rider. I can personally say that I love brushing my horses for the fact that they are my therapists. And according to Jennifer Geldrin, a journalist for the famous Horse and Rider magazine, states that our equine partners help us relax and find moments of peace in our fast-paced, stressful lives. So overall, your horse should be well groomed and shine brighter than the sun, and your rider should feel a weight lifted off their shoulders from the stress relief from just getting to spend time with their companions, and enjoy the fact that their horses are safe and groomed and the rider is healthy as well. Thank you for listening.